everyone, it's Asha. Welcome back to Reading with Asha. I am back from my little break from social media, and I appreciate everyone being so kind to me, DMing me on my bookstagram. I missed you all so much, and I love reading. I have really not read very much over the past few weeks. It's all really just been a blur, so I don't even really know. There's just been so much stuff going on, and I also just finished finals. Christmas is coming up. I have trips upcoming, just a whole bunch of different stuff. So I'm just gonna be talking about the books I read in November, which I haven't been on here for a really long time, which sucks because I wanted to post so many videos. But anyways, I am going to talk about the books that I read in November. Please forgive me if I don't remember everything about these books because it's been a while since I have read them, obviously, or even thought about it. And also I am very forgetful right now. My brain is a little confused all the time. I'm gonna tell you about the books that I read in November because I read some really good books and I did want to talk about them. First book I read, a lot of the books I read was on Kindle or listened to. I only read 6 books, but the first book that I read was My Body by Emily Ratajkowski. I think it's Ratajkowski, or is it I think it's Ratajkowski. I literally watched a video of her saying how to say her name and I can't even remember. But anyways, this book was really good, and I kind of just decided to rate all memoirs 5 stars unless there's something seriously not okay about them. But because this is the author's story and they had enough courage and bravery to tell their story. And if you guys don't know who Rada is, she's a supermodel. She's modeled for Victoria's Secret, a bunch of big brands, and she's obviously struggled a lot being in this spotlight and basically being known for her body. The Blurred Lines music video that basically set off her career, and it was a really amazing story that talks about her dealing with her issues with body image, sexual assault, beauty standards, and basically society's expectation of women in the image they must portray and all this stuff. So I thought it was really good. I listened to it on the Libby app and got it from my library, so if anybody's interested, I really liked listening to it. And also I love when the author of the book is the one who narrates it. So she actually narrated that book, so it felt like you could really hear her and the emotion in her voice while she was reading the book. So I thought it was really good and I would highly recommend that one. Next, I read a book called Icebreaker, which is on Kindle Unlimited. I read it on my Kindle and it was so hyped up. I've heard so many people talk about this book and I thought it was good for sure, but it was so predictable. It's I knew everything that was gonna happen, and it's a really fun little winter romance story. I'll probably read it in January or February. I don't know why. It's just a hockey kind of romance, and the girl's a figure skater and the guy is a hockey player, and they kind of meet because I think someone's rink got ruined, so they end up having to play on the same rink or practice on the same rink, and then they have to communicate because he's the team captain and she's a really good figure skater. I don't even remember, but it was really cute. I do remember a lot of it, but I just felt it was so predictable, and yeah, but it was really spicy too if you like that. I gave it a 3 stars. I'm really not a fan of in a book when the author just goes into so much detail about how tiny the girl is. She's literally so tiny in my huge shirt. Why do we need to say stuff like that? I don't know, but it was still good. So I would say I did like it and I would recommend it. The next book that I read was Unfiltered by Lily Collins. Again, giving it a 5 stars because it is a memoir, but if you guys like Emily in Paris or any shows that Lily Collins stars in, she's also in a really good movie called To the Bone. Trigger warning, it's about anorexia and other eating disorders, so if that triggers you, probably don't watch it. Lily Collins is so amazing, such an amazing actress. She's one of my favorites. This is basically her telling her story through different relationships, with her dad, relationships in her life, and also her relationship with food and having an eating disorder. And the first time I ever saw her was in that movie To the Bone, and it was really good. And yeah, I just think she's an incredible actress. I love watching anything that she's in. So I really wanted to listen to this because I've been in a memoir mood recently and I really love Lily Collins. So I listened to it and I really liked it. It was fun. Again, narrated by her. I think she wrote it a while ago. I want to say it's not in the 2020s, maybe 2018 or 2014. Something that was kind of a while ago that she seemed a little bit younger. And then for the actual books I read, I don't actually know what order I read these in, but I really can't remember if I read this month or last month. I don't know, maybe I talked about this. This is Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sulin Tan, or Tan, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. But this is a Chinese mythology story, which I've never read anything like that, but I was super interested in reading about it and learning a lot more about like Chinese culture and stuff. And so I really, really love this. And I also got the second one, so I'm really excited to read that too. This is about the moon goddess Chang'e or Chang'e. I've looked at so many pronunciations on how to say it, but they're all different, so I don't really know. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments down below. But it's about her daughter, and it's a really, really good story of like this badass warrior, and I loved this book so much. And there's also a little bit of romance in it, and it's just so lyrical. Like if you like a good lyrical book, and it has so many good quotes, the writing style is amazing, and this author is such a great writer. You would probably love this book, and the cover is so beautiful. The second book cover is also really, really beautiful. Let me show you. This is the cover of the second book. So pretty. I'm just obsessed with these covers. But yeah, I really, really like that one. I don't know if I read this next, but I read A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. This is the first book in the Hades and Persephone trilogy. There's 2 other books. I love this book. I didn't really go into it knowing a lot of other people's thoughts on it. I thought about reading it like last year, and some people told me it was really good. Some people were like, but I didn't really go look at Goodreads or anything to see what other people thought of it. And I read it and I flew through it. I love this book so much. Like I kept wanting to read more, and I love Greek mythology. I think that this story is definitely a little bit off, but it's a modern retelling of the story of Hades and Persephone and their love story. But the thing is, I know some people really don't like Greek mythology or don't care about it. You really don't have to like Greek mythology or care about it to read this book. It's more of a fantasy kind of book, so if you like ACOTAR and that type of world building, you'll probably like this, because I feel like it doesn't go too heavy on the Greek mythology. It just makes the characters seem like characters rather than having like this huge story behind them, I guess. But I personally really liked it, and I love Greek mythology. But if you like spicy books, this book has a lot of smut. Very, very good. It's written very well, I will say. I mean, even like, let's just look at the little quote on the back. I think that's all you need to know. But yeah, there's 2 other books, and I really liked it. It reminded me of Feyre and Rhysand from ACOTAR too. Last thing that I read, I think, is The Giver by Lois Lowry. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. I read this book when I was in like 5th grade, and this is one of my favorite books ever. I think it is my favorite book ever, to be honest with you. I read it such a long time ago, so I remember some parts of the story, but I don't really remember exactly like what happened and everything. But I really, really love this book so much, and I also feel like it's a great book to read before Christmas, because there's just some Christmas aspects that if you read it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you feel like you love this when you were in 5th grade or whenever you read it, if you read it before, you should definitely reread it, because it's so much better now that you can like fully understand what she's talking about, and the message behind it is so good. I got this at Half Price Books for like $3. And also, I want to talk about this. And I bought this from Half Price Books, so it's used, and it had this little note in it that said, October 1995, to Patricia, to inspire your creative, let your thoughts go wild. Love, and then the name of the person. And I just thought that made it a lot more special. But oh, let me explain what it's about. I'll just read the back of it. Jonas's world is perfect. Everything is under control. There's no war or fear or pain. There are no choices, and every person is assigned a role in the community. When Jonas turns 12, he's singled out to receive the special training from the Giver. The Giver alone holds the memories of the true pain and pleasure of life. Now it's time for Jonas to receive the truth, and there's no turning back. So all the kids, when they turn 12 years old, are assigned like the job that they're gonna have for the rest of their life. So much of this book is insane. Like everything is under control. And this is kind of funny, but I just went to Paris Island, South Carolina, for my best friend's graduation from the Marines, and everything there is controlled because they're in boot camp, obviously, and like they have to do everything a specific way. It reminded me so much of The Giver. I don't think anybody's gonna understand that reference, but if you do, please let me know, because I went there and it was insane. It was so cool, but also like crazy, and just, I don't know, it just had a lot of resemblances. That is pretty much everything that I read in November, not as much as I would have liked to read. I literally haven't read a single book yet in December, but I'm gonna hopefully film a video where I can read some Christmas books, at least one, because I had Christmas books that I wanted to read that I talked about in the last video. Hopefully film a little reading vlog for those. Let me know if you guys want to see that, and I will be filming a what I got for Christmas book edition on the books I got that for Christmas after Christmas. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me. I appreciate you all so much, and I love sharing videos on booktube and like the book community and everything like that. So I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.